Beautiful mountains here in sunny Arizona, where we are for today's edition of Deck Pass Live. We're coming to you from the third stop of the TYR Pro Swim Series in Mesa, Arizona, the beautiful Skyline Aquatic Center. As you can see behind me, the wind's kind of calmed down a little bit compared to yesterday. It was still a little breezy. Everybody still had to deal with the winds and the headwinds and the tailwinds, but much calmer today, and we're glad you're here to join us. We had some great prelim swims today, a lot of hundreds, some 200 butterflies, 200 IMs, and even a few early heats of the 800. We'll talk about the prelims in just a little bit. We want to just quickly recap what happened last night. We had a lot of fun events, but the most fun event was at the end, the mixed 200 medley relay, and we had a lot of exciting there. You see at the front there was Team Lezak, who cheated and used 4 guys on their relay. You're supposed to use 2 guys and 2 girls, but we had Team Kraselberg out there who actually touched first and got the big points for Team Kraselberg, winning that mixed medley relay. And they're going to be very important. It's going to be very important for that Team Kraselberg to be getting those points for the swim squads. So here's a little bit of a recap on who won the events last night. We had Vin Nigien and Chase Kalish winning the 400 IM, Kelsey Dahlia and Tim Phillips winning that 100 butterfly, Olivia Smoliga, a little bit of a stretch, doing the 200 backstroke, and Ryan Murphy, the reigning Olympic champion in the 200 backstroke. Emily Escobedo and Josh Pernot taking the 200 breaststrokes. And then the 200 freestyles, it was Leah Smith and Yosef El Kamash winning those events. And then, as I said, the mixed relay, it was Team Kraselberg taking the big win there. So moving on to today, we had a lot of great swims setting up for tonight's finals. It's going to be a lot of sprinting, and we're going to just quickly kind of recap some of the highlights that you're going to want to see tonight. The women's 800 freestyle is one you're going to want to watch it first. We have Leah Smith and Sierra Runge, who are going to be 2 of the big ones to watch. Here's the top 8 from the men's 100 backstroke. Jacob Pebley, Ryan Murphy, Market Nikolaev, and Matt Grievers, your top 4. I think the race is going to come from Pebley, Murphy, and Grievers. You put those 3 in a shave and taper situation, they could probably place top 4 at Worlds next year, even at the Olympics. So, as you know, it's only 2 for the World, so those are going to be good to watch. And then the women's 100 freestyle prelims, Margot Gear, Mallory Comerford, Louise Hansen, Leah Neal, look at that, all under 56 seconds. This is going to be a very close final. You're not going to want to miss that. It's probably going to come down to tenths of a second. And another race that's going to be really cool to watch, the men's 100 freestyle. Look at the top seeds. Michael Chadwick and Nathan Adrian both swam 49.72 in prelims. I think Nathan and Michael both are going to have a little more in the tank tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do. Bruno Blaskovic from Croatia, 50.07, a good film for him to get in the top 3. So those are the prelims from today. Be sure to watch what's going to happen tonight on the Olympic channel. Rowdy Gaines and Ted Robinson are going to be there calling all those races, and we'll be back for Deck Pass Live. So we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to have Arthur Albiero, the head coach from the University of Louisville, and also the newly named head coach for the women's team for the Pan Pacific Championships. All right, we're back here on Deck Pass Live. So those of you who are within driving distance of the Skyline Aquatic Center, you definitely want to be here for finals. You can see some great races. Anybody who shows up, you can get those light up cheer sticks. Those are really cool to have and show your support for all your favorite athletes. And we got a lot of great autographs tonight. We got Matt Grievers, Jacob Pebley, Michael Chadwick. Those guys are going to be racing for wins in the finals tonight. And then they'll be over there signing some autographs. Those are 3 great athletes, and they're going to be lovely to have autographs from them. All right, so joining us today on the Deck Pass Live desk, University of Louisville head coach Arthur Albiero. Arthur, it's great to see you. How are you today?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. Great pleasure.
It's a great pleasure to have you. You just got named as the head women's coach for the USA team going to the Pan Pacific Championships. Tell us about the reaction you had when you got that call.
It's an incredible honor. You know, when Lindsay approached me if I would be willing to take that on, and it's a big responsibility. I fully understand that, but an incredible honor. I think it's really, I think, a testament of the work that we've done at the University of Louisville and how we've grown the program and being able to perform now at a pretty decent international level and putting kids on the national team. And you know, again, it's a bit of a dream come true.
Yeah, sure.
And just a very unique opportunity, and one that I'm very grateful for.
You know, a lot of people may not know that there is actually a process that's involved with getting even considered for these kind of positions. So walk us through the process that you had to go through and kind of what what is required, the criteria to even be considered to be head coach for Pan Pacs.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just certainly, you know, I've had an opportunity now. This is the 4th year in a row that I've been involved with the national team. So I think there's a little bit of experience there. I got to go to Pan American Games in 2015. Obviously, Kelsey Worrell made the Olympic team, so I was very involved in the preparation for that. And then I was actually Short Course World's head coach for Team USA then. So, you know, I've been around a little bit, and I think a lot of it is getting to know people and understanding what exactly they're looking for. And we also understand it's a very important year leading up to the Olympics, you know, being in Tokyo and all that. So I think there's a great opportunity for us, and again, great statement for the program.
Okay. So just pardon the audience, we're having a little trouble with your microphone, so we'll just use mine for the moment. So speaking of Kelsey, we're going to take a look at her 100 butterfly final from last night, where she won a pretty impressive swim. So if we can go ahead and take a look at that, where she was very impressive, 58.09, I believe. We'll see if we can bring that up.
I disagree with you on that, but you know, it's different. Swimming outdoors, so many different variables, you know. So,
absolutely. So she's there in the lead. Louise Hansen was giving her a little bit of run. So Kelsey was in lane 4, fourth from the top. So tell us what you think of her in this last 25 now.
That's something we've been working on. She tended to get stuck on her breathing a little bit, so it's been a point of emphasis recently to really focus on that. And I think we wanted to make sure she stayed forward here and really time her wall really nicely. I think she struggled a little bit with the wind. She'll tell you she was way too far and then way too close. Probably that was a little bit of an extra stroke there, but you know, we'll take that under these conditions and you know, just a chance to race. I think that's the biggest thing we're trying to do at this stage of the season.
And obviously Kelsey being a post-grad swimmer right now, so she was basically training through March while her teammates are getting ready for NCAA. So how do you keep her grounded in kind of the big picture while her other teammates are doing something else?
That's a great question. I think it speaks volumes of Kelsey and who she is and understanding the big picture. I think that's the biggest thing. And that's something we sat down beginning of the season, kind of put the whole thing down. You know, she got married recently. We've had a lot of different changes, but we kind of had a plan for the entire year. And during the final stretch of college season, you know, very grateful that you know, USA Swimming offered a camp for the national team members, and she got to go to that for about 2 weeks when, you know, pretty much I wasn't there, and really the rest of the staff was moving around. So I think it was great for her to change of pace, and I think it's also great sometimes for you to step away and really appreciate what you have.
Sure.
And kind of break the monotony a little bit. So I think she came back excited, fired up, grateful. You know, she one of the days she told me, she's like, I want to thank you. I'm like, what did I do now? You know, and she's like, just you know, we've had a great relationship, and just talking to a lot of different members of the team, I just really appreciate that we have that, you know, and I think that speaks volumes of who she is.
Absolutely. So a couple of your athletes who did very well at the NCAA championships, Mallory Comerford and Zach Harding, swam pretty impressive today. Mallory in the 100 freestyle, Zach in the men's 200 butterfly. How do you get them to transition from a really intense short course season to now racing long course, which is a totally different kind of thing?
It is, you know, but we train long course year round. So we really try to make this as part of the constant progression of what we're trying to do. It's not, oh, now it's long course season. It's just, yeah, the focus switches a little bit. Certainly some of our training sessions have a little bit more long course focus, but it's not a new thing. So I think it's been a big part of our program. You know, we've been coming to this meet probably for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and I think we've had great experiences here, racing fairly well. You know, the goal is not to do anything crazy here, just to really, I like to have a meet as an assessment to see where we are. So I think for me it's going to be a lot of information, and we brought a good group here this time to see where we are. A lot of our young ones you know, that we really want to see how they're going to progress. And this summer obviously is an important one for all of us, so we want to make sure we're on track to do the right things.
How do you as a coach transition from what was a very emotional and very successful NCAA championships for men and women now to getting into the long course season?
If you ask my wife, she'll tell you probably not very well. And it's one of those things, you know, we come back from men's NCAAs, and the women had taken a few days off, but then Monday at 6:30 that morning, you know, majority of the women were ready to go. So we came back on Sunday afternoon, and off we went, my whole staff, not just me. So I think it speaks volumes of the culture I think we have in place now, where, you know, and there's a lot of certainly rules in NCAA rules as far as required practice and all that. As far as we're concerned, you know, we have a lot of kids that really wanted to get better, and they understood the importance of setting things up, you know. So those first, I think, really few weeks, especially coming off of a taper, you know, from conference to certainly NCAAs to, you know, we got to get back to some basics here. And I think the group that we have now, I mean, it's an incredible, you know, opportunity to work with people that really want to be there, and that makes a difference. So it's easy for us as coaches to get up and go to work every day and enjoy what we do, love what we do.
Yeah, exactly. If they're motivated, you're motivated.
You know, I'll come early, I'll leave late, I'll do whatever it takes, and I think that's really been, I think, the culture of our program in the last few years. That's been the norm, you know, not the exception. So I think for me as a coach, I'm again grateful. I've been there 15 years now. It wasn't always like that, but it's a credit to people like Kelsey, you know, people that have stuck around, people that have proven that we can do it at the University of Louisville, and we're doing it. And then, you know, Mallory, and now, you know, we had 5 kids representing Team USA last summer. So it's becoming again a little bit more of the norm, and that's kind of the expectation now.
Yeah. Just real quick before we go, I want to touch on the fact that you had your son Nicholas scoring points for Louisville. I mean, what does it feel like as a dad to see him being able to do that?
You know, I think I did a pretty good job managing that all year long, you know, and obviously watch him swim from the very beginning, and my wife was his coach early on. I think we've always done a good job of putting other people to kind of, hey, tell him to put his head down, but we didn't tell him. Somebody else told him that, and kind of managed that and kept the separation. And I think to his credit, you know, I mean, I've been doing this for a while. He was the one that really had to adjust. So I think to his credit, he came in ready to work and learn. And, you know, he's our student of the sport kind of kid. He's a geek when it comes to swimming. He wants to learn everything: stroke counts, numbers, ask questions, and hard worker too. So, you know, that combination is pretty exciting. And you know, he had a great year. And to me, what I was most impressed, he was able to perform in some key moments, you know, for the team. And I think that's what he loved the most. He's a team guy. You know, and when he snuck in that final at NCAAs, you know, as a true freshman, to drop another 4/10 off his lifetime best when we needed the most, I thought that was a special moment for him, and certainly for our program.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was very impressive for everybody for Louisville to see a freshman be able to step up like that. And it's a testament to what you guys are doing there at Louisville.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, Arthur, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of the season. It's going to be a great summer, I'm sure, for the Cardinals.
We certainly are working for it, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so thank you guys again for joining us here on Deck Pass Live. So just don't forget, you want to be here for Saturday's finals beginning at 7 o'clock. We're going to be showing you guys the exclusive mystery medley. So 8 women, 8 men. They're not going to know what the order of the IM is going to be. They're going to swim a 200 IM, but not in the usual butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle order. They're not going to know until right before they swim, and so it's going to be interesting to see how strategies play out. Arthur, what do you think? Do you think this is a pretty fun event?
It is. It's so unique, right? As you were talking about it, I'm thinking that's pretty cool, right? Because I missed the last one. I didn't get to watch it, so I'm looking forward to just see what that really looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think the people who get butterfly last are going to be the ones that really don't like it.
Depends. I think if you ask Kelsey, she would say, yeah, I can take butterfly last.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
you know, it definitely it would add the different component to it, no question.
Yeah, so you guys don't want to miss that. We'll have it live on Deck Pass Live on Saturday. All right, so that's going to do it. We'll be back after finals tonight. Again, be sure to go to the Olympic Channel to watch Ted and Rowdy cover all the finals tonight, and we'll be back shortly after that. I'm Jeff Commings. For everybody here at USA Swimming, thanks for watching.
Bye.